Day 1, the most important and dangerous day. Alright, so we wake up with nothing but our underwear, and the apocalypse has happened and we have to survive. We have this quest on how to make key basic items, but not really what to do or where to go. In this guide, I'm going to go over what I like to do on day 1, and hopefully it helps you out. And what you're going to see in the background is 3 different day 1s that I've done, and I've named them Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. They're slightly different experiences, but use the same teachings. So let's get started. First, our goal is to make a stone axe. It's the all-purpose tool that can chop down trees, mine stone, build stuff, breaks into anything, and can be used in a weapon in a pinch. But we need to gather a bit of each in the main resource first. We need plant fibers, which I just call grass. It's easily obtained by punching grass. Wood comes from trees, obviously, but without an axe, it takes a long time to obtain wood by punching it. Look for these small burnt trees with 15 health, or these slightly larger bushes to get 1 to 2 wood. Same thing with stone. Instead of punching a rock for 20 minutes, look on the ground for these single rocks and pick it up with E. And then once you have everything, hit tab to open up your crafting screen. Under the basics tab is you're going to find your stone axe. And once you craft it, we're going to keep gathering more grass, wood, and stone. Next, make your grass clothes, and the next step after that will tell you to put them on in your character screen. The character screen here will tell you all about yourself, your food and water levels, your health, your temperature, what clothes you're wearing, your active status effects, and a whole bunch of other stuff. The main things is you need your food and water to be towards 100%, and your temperature should be between 30 and 100 to not have any negative effects, to not be freezing or to not have any heat stroke. Next, it's going to tell us to make some clubs. I'd say make at least 10, and keep the highest and scrap the rest. While you're crafting, you should still be gathering resources in your main area that you just started in, because zombies will not spawn there until you leave that area, and you'll want a bow and arrow for that. And we're going to keep crafting multiple axes so that your skill in crafting axes gets better, and then you scrap the old ones. Don't hold on to them. As far as the quality goes, the higher the number, the better it is, whereas the bar behind the number is the durability. That's how long it'll take to break. To make arrows, we're going to need feathers. Look for birds' nests on the ground. They're little tiny brown circles. They're very easy to miss. They'll either have feathers or eggs or both. Now, make your bow and a bunch of arrows. And then because we made all those clubs, our bow will come out stronger. Equip your bow, and then hit R to knock or reload your arrow. Once you knock it for the first time, it will do this automatically until you make a new bow. The next part of your tutorial quest is wood frames, but let's hold off on that until we find a suitable base area or a house where we can stay the night. So start exploring, and maybe we'll come across a city or a house or something cool that you can search. The point to finding houses is to scavenge a cook pot. It's the most important day 1 item so we can make some decent food and clean water. Both Alpha and Bravo happened upon a campground with tents and stuff, but only Bravo found a cook pot. Bravo also set down a preliminary bedroll so that if he dies, he'll come back to that camp versus at a random spawn. At this point is where you usually run into your first zombie, or zombies. The first rule to zombies is always keep your distance. Second is to keep an eye on your surroundings since zombies can sneak up on you, especially if it's a crawler. Aim for the head with your bow, and if they fall down, they're most likely not dead. When you can search them is when they're actually dead. When they're on the ground, you can either shoot them in the head again, or bonk them in the head till they're dead. Where you aim your bow or your club matters. So always, always, always go for the head. when it's safe, axe the zombie completely to get a large bone and craft it into a bone shiv. You can also get a bone from an animal corpse. A bone shiv acts as a bladed weapon which harvests animals better than a stone axe. You'll get more meat and more animal hides, and those animal hides are needed for making a forge later on. A final note about zombies is knowing when to run. Here's some examples. I got Charlie here, he gets stuck in the corner. Bravo gets attacked by giant bees and eventually spitting cop spawns. And Alpha just passes over our crawler just to not waste time. Alpha kind of got it easy. Also, I have another example in which I really should have run away, but I was too stubborn, and even when I ran out of arrows, I should have taken the hint to run away. So, now that we've encountered our first zombie and we've gathered supplies, our next step is finding shelter or home and establishing a base, somewhere where we can stay the night. Keep grabbing supplies as you move, and craft a few axes and clubs as you go. Hunt if you can. If you're by yourself, look for roads and pathways. They'll lead to civilization of some sort, or at least a house. In multiplayer, it's very important to add your friends as allies and then check the box for tracking. Then spend the rest of the day trying to meet up. It's very important to meet up because 2 players fighting 1 zombie is way better. To the right to players, and then click the little plus sign on my name to add as ally. So that way we can have
each other.
Well, yes, we can't kill each other, and then we can track each other too, so I can find you. So then once we're allies, then on the track. Oh gosh. Where the fuck are you? Oh, there you are. You're a little bit of ways away. Yeah. 3.7 kilometers away. A good cutoff time for deciding whether to keep exploring or settle down for the night is around 1500 hours. If you found a space that you like to build a base, then you can start building wood frames and make a 2-high wall square. You can build a base however you want, but I'm partial to squares and it's really simple to do in the first day. Once you have some semblance of a home, make a chest to store all your stuff in, especially your raw meat so you don't smell anymore, and then craft a bedroll in case you die. Then with your base established, you can either go gather more resources or raid locally until nighttime at 2200 hours. Now, if you're not building your own base, then it's all about finding a house, clearing the zombies around it, and reinforcing the doors and windows so it can be safe. And then just like the base option, make a chest to store all your stuff and make a bedroll. It's getting late in the day. At this point, both build your own base and temporary shelter guys should be in the same spot with a chest of random stuff, a bedroll, and a campfire. Alpha and Charlie are lucky enough to have a forge where they can make a cook pot, whereas Bravo found one earlier. I got really lucky with all three guys. With the cook pot, you can cook some bacon and eggs and boil some water, so you're good for the night at least. And I know you've been doing it all day, but you're going to need a lot more resources for the night. Get at least 100 grass, 1,000 wood, and 150 stone. More is better, obviously, but this is a good baseline to work with for the entire night. Also, make 3 wooden spikes to place in front of your door. You'll block yourself in, but if you do get detected, the spikes will really help at killing the zombies since it's very easy to get overrun at night. Once 2200 hits, you'll hear the ominous, scary music and zombies will now sprint at you. So usually I stay crouched the entire night and just stop building, stop gathering, and stay inside. Now all those supplies we just gathered, we're going to use all of them to make stone axes and clubs. That's it. And then we're going to scrap them all to get some supplies back, and then we're going to make more. And we're going to do this all night. As a backup, in your storage chest, stash a stone axe, a club, a bow, and some arrows, just in case you get overrun and die outside your base. Also during this time, cook some food and boil some water if you need to, but don't leave the fire on because it can and will attract zombies after a while. If you're really unlucky, a screamer will show up and can bring a mini horde if you're detected. If we listen in on Charlie here, we can hear a screamer outside, but because we're crouching and not doing anything, she doesn't detect us and just kind of wanders around. Other than a zombie or two, the night should be pretty boring. It's all making axes and scrapping them. Then when you're out of stone, make clubs and scrap. Make clubs and scrap. And also what I like to do in the middle of the night is take all the stuff that I've gathered during the day and organize it in that chest. That way, if it's just a temporary home, I know exactly what I need to take the next day, grab it, and then get out of there. If you had enough supplies to craft all night, then your tools should be around level 100 or higher, and your weapons should be around 150 or so. And then remember to save enough supplies to make 1 bow, 1 club, and an axe for day 2. That way when you start in the morning, you have the highest possible stuff you can make. Default morning time is 6 a.m., and once you hear the enlightened music, zombies will stop running. And that's day 1. Now you can venture off in the world and explore towns, or find a town even, or start fortifying your base, gathering more supplies, or anything really. Usually I dedicate day 2 to making a forge and stocking it with metal and clay. If I'm near a town or a city, I like to look in the named stores like the Crack-A-Books, the Shamway Foods, the Working Stiffs Tools, the Poppin' Pills, the gas stations. Otherwise you can really just do whatever you want from here. So I hope this guide helps manage your time or gives you a general direction of what to do for day 1. If you have any questions about day 1 or 7 Days to Die in general, just let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thanks for watching.